What is happening, guys? Cowboy here, and it is finally time, I think. Emphasis on I think, because I've tried to go to Jotunheim like 4 fucking times now, and every time we try to go.
Well, if things work according to plan, go ahead and lock in Jotunheim and we'll be on our way.
We're gonna, let's see. Let's see. My luck, Ymir's eyes will explode or something. Okay. Jotunheim.
Boy, ahead. Get ready.
Oh, right. Got it. Let's hope this doesn't cause you to explode or anything.
Oh, hadn't considered that. Maybe we should talk about this a bit more.
Nah, I'm sure you'll be fine. Ready?
That's unpleasant!
Now, boy. We must be close.
Well, what are we waiting for? Think it's far?
We will see.
Did it actually work? Looks like it worked. Alder's defeated, so we don't have him coming after us.
Listen, the last thing you two need up there's a decomposing heat ruining the moment. Why don't I wait for you here? This is between you and the boy.
True. But if someone were to
My
fight...
lady sips soft, perfect sloshers. You done did it.
Sorry. We had to see this.
Oh, no. No, 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 no. Fine, damn it. Fine!
Watch the head till we return.
I can do this. No, no, I can't. Oh.
Okay.
Ready. Come.
Jotunheim!
Boy, do I have plans for you. You honey back. Don't flatter yourself.
What to say? I was like, it's been waiting for a while. Can we, like, load?
We're on the giant's fingers. I can see the highest peak ahead. Right over there. We did it.
We did.
What are you doing?
I have nothing more to hide.
Can we go now? We're so close.
Boy.
It's kind of nice. It's like a very, very peaceful moment. All the bullshit
Boy.
we've had.
It's nothing. I just thought I'd hear voices by now. Hello? Anybody here?
What is this place?
They must have all come through here when they left Midgard. What was left of them. Odin and Thor, ruining everything for everybody. Huh. Who's the Guardian?
Hopefully
I should
there's
feel that,
not
but I
something
don't.
here called the Guardian.
This place is dead. What happened to them? Why'd Mom send us here?
One question is answered and two more take its place.
Wait! Father! Something's happening.
Oh! It's Mom! With the axe.
It's your axe. It's Mother. Look. She's arguing with a bunch of giants. She knew giants? That's us. The first time we met the world serpent. But how? And our fight with Baldur. But that just happened. Wait. They knew everything that was going to happen. The dragon in the mountain, the stone mason, all these drawings. This is our story.
No. This is your story.
But what does it all mean?
That I was not the only parent with secrets.
You didn't know. She was a giant. I'm a giant. Why didn't she tell us?
She sent us here, knowing we would find this.
But why not just tell us the truth?
Your mother would have had good reasons. Baldur was never sent to find me. He was tracking her all along, not knowing she was only ashes.
If she had a plan for us, I trust it. Whatever it is. Besides, she hasn't been wrong yet.
I don't know what's behind the curtain, though.
We're so close to the end now.
Yes,
It's the final panel.
yes, we are.
Oh, man. Kratos dying. The boy's arms, and then something. Kratos can't die, though. You know Sony ain't letting this IP die. There's way too much money to be made.
It's Mother's. She was here. She saw every step we took before we took it. Like she was always with us. Watching over us. Leading us home. Let's finish it.
Well, giant hand? Are these all the giants? Are they all dead?
Father,
No. We do it together. Son. Goodbye, Faye.
I love you, Mom. The giants. They really are all gone. There's nothing for us here.
Come.
So, I get that Mother was a giant, which makes me part giant and part god.
And part mortal.
Right. I guess there's just one thing I don't understand. My name on the wall. The giants called me... Loki?
Loki, as in Thor's brother, the trickster?
That's the name your mother wanted for you when you were born. She must have called you that to her people.
But why?
A question for another day. Let us go home.
Oh, don't tell me that, like, Kratos isn't the dad. Odin's actually the dad. Kratos has been playing baby's daddy. Kid that's not even his. Oh lord, where is this story going? I mean, given there's been a lot of,
Why she want to end up here?
you know, departures from
But did she know it was going to be like this?
standard Norse mythology,
Is this
but
what she
Loki...
wanted us to see? Did she want
Wait,
us to tell
is
the
this-
people?
Wait a minute.
Or keep it a secret?
There's credits.
Do not know.
Why are there credits?
So what
Is
should
this
we
the
do?
end of the game?
I trust you to decide that.
Oh,
Did we just reach the end of the game? No.
so
What?
why'd you want to name me Atreus? I know it can't be for a god.
No. He was a soldier. A Spartan.
The great warrior?
All Spartans are great warriors. We trained from birth. Our lives were discipline, duty, battle, and death. Life was grim, and we greeted it grimly. But Atreus of Sparta was unlike the rest of us. He wore a smile even in the worst of times. He was happy. He inspired us to hope that though we were machines of war, yet there was humanity in us. Goodness. When the day came for him to lay down his life in battle, his sacrifice saved countless others and turned the tide in our favor. I carried him home on his shield and buried him with all the honors of Spartan custom. His memory was a comfort in dark times.
Wow, you actually told a good story. But we missed it.
I mean, we have credits, so this is the end, I
understand if
guess.
you want to go home. But I bet there are still some corrupted Valkyries out there that could be set free. Some other help people. maybe helping people is part of why Mom sent us out here, too. I mean, what would Atreus of Sparta do?
And what would Loki do?
Huh. That's a weird name. I'm glad we went with yours.
Lads, am I glad to see you. I believe I've reached my limit for dwarven charm.
What happened, Mimir?
They took an uncomfortable number of measurements and then proceeded to bicker about the weather.
Where do you want us to take you?
How about the warm confines of anywhere bloody else?
Continue exploring. Complete dwarven favors, free dragons, travel to Muspelheim and Niflheim. Find new items in the shop to get powerful equipment to defeat all the legendary corrupted Valkyries. Damn, so that really is the end. We have beat the game. Okay. Well, I guess let's do like a mini review. This isn't really going to be the final episode,
I
but
should warn you. More time has passed than you want to realize. The snowfall that began when you slew Balder, it's become something else. Stuff of omens.
For the coming of winter.
Not just any winter, but a great winter to span 3 summers. And when it's done, Ragnarok begins.
Ragnarok. From snow.
Aye, snow. Lots more snow. And then the end of the bloody world. In that approximate order.
Another prophecy.
No, brother. Prophecy doesn't expect this from 100 more winters at least. You've changed something. Prophecy did...
I'm telling you, it's Fimbulwinter. I can feel it in my scrope. This is the big one.
Stop saying that. Oh, you're making me very nervous. It was bound to snow sooner or later.
That ain't just snow, and you know it. It's the end times.
How dare you make me the voice of reason?
Guys?
Just discussing the weather. Bit of a cold snap lately.
What he means is, Fimbulwinter's upon us, boys. The winter to end all winters. I can feel it in my scrope.
Yeah. We heard.
So if you're heading home, try to keep moving. And also, to not die.
Or if you're not heading home, same advice.
chilling mists of Niflheim.
You hitting the road or chewing the fat?
See what this winter looks like. Ooh. Huh. It's not that wintry. I mean, yeah, there's snow coming down, but not like everything is covered in ice. Well, I'm gonna go light the braziers. So while I do that, let's discuss. First off, gameplay. Probably 10 out of 10. I mean, I'll be honest. Coming from the other God of War games, and having played very limited portions of them, I think the last one I tried to do was 3. And I played it for about an hour. Maybe 2, until I was like, fuck, this is terrible. I was playing like the remastered version, which is the, you know, the lack of knowing when an enemy was going to die. Like, they just had...
Comes a time in every man's life when he changes his name and heads north to make a new start. And we'll pick this up later.
Exactly. But you know, like, I mean, I remember I was trying to play it, and I was climbing up the tree, and then the Zeus strucks down the tree, and then I'm in, like, the undead area, and I'm just fighting shit, and I can't tell, like, if it's almost dead or not dead, and the boss fight's just kind of dragged along, and I'm like, man, when does this, like, when does this end, you know?
Another name. Deirdre.
It just felt
They've been made into a memorial to
really,
the Valkyries.
I don't know. It's like when you think about like old PS2 games, how it's like, you know, like, yeah, hack and slash, and 2D, and this is cool. Like, that's pretty much exactly how I felt God of War was. And wasn't really a giant fan of it. But this, oh my god, this is a completely different experience. Like, this was fucking awesome. So, I mean, you got a good variety in the attacks. You know, you got the axe and the blades, which both have very distinct playstyles, but despite that, the actual movement system is basically identical for both. You know, you can go lights, you can go heavies, you can do the pause light into alternate stance with heavy or light attacks. You have the unarmed attacks, you have the runic attacks, so you got some kind of like specials that you can go with. And on top of that, there's a bunch of different runics to choose from. You got the parries, you got the dodges, so... You know, and I feel like we're kind of devolving into the combat a bit, but I mean, it is God of War. I think that's probably the biggest part of it. But so, I mean, from an overarching perspective, the combat, very enjoyable. I mean, it starts off a little bit rough. I'll say, like, the first chapter or two, I was kind of like, alright, you know, when does this
How'd you come to be in
fucking
these lands?
get going, you know?
Lad, there comes a time in every man's life when he changes his name and heads north to make a new start.
Hear this story again.
If you live long enough to do this many times over, you might end up as far north as this place. You know what? I'll tell this one later.
Oh, I fight troll. Fight. Need to activate this time. Helheim Tower. Outside of the combat, you know, personally, I'm a big fan of the exploration. I know some people are like, this isn't what God of War is supposed to be about. You know, it's just another open world cookie cutter, blah blah blah. I like the open world aspect of this. I think it's really nice. I think it was done well. Got, like, you could just stay on a linear path and go straight through the story if you wanted to, or alternatively, you can explore around the map, you can do a bunch of side shit, exactly like what we're doing right now.
I set to demonstrate my worth by coming to him with something I knew he'd value, a mystic well of knowledge. Well, I can just tell you this story later.
Oh, you look like a real beefy boy compared to the other ones. Oh, fuck, he leaves behind pillars. Except he wasn't. Runic OP, man. And crush. Ooh, I like that. That looks pretty badass. Tons of burn damage, which is similar to this. So this is 353. This go up. I mean, I got plenty of XP. Let me just upgrade all the way. This is 352. 39 seconds, 26 seconds. That does, or does look really badass. Boosh. Put it on. I like the look of that. Might go tackle this Valkyrie again too. Get my health to full, get my rage to full. Go put that queen down for good. So yeah, I mean, the whole exploration aspect of the game, you know, personally I found it to be really enjoyable. Just going around, you know, it doesn't feel like it's shoehorned in or forced. It's just like, if you want to explore, explore. If you don't, then fuck it. You don't have to.
Someone who loved the Valkyries enough to do this? I wonder. Perhaps the Queen?
As for actual content in the game, I feel there was a pretty good diversity. I mean, the enemies, I'd say your basic enemies got pretty limited, you know. You always had your draugrs, your ice draugrs and your fire draugrs, but every now and then you'd have one that had a shield, or you'd have one that did the ranged attacks, or you'd have the basic ones, or you'd have the super fast dashy ones, so you had a decent variety even among your basic enemies. You know, all the trolls we fought, they all had their own unique attacks, even though late game I feel you kind of just powerhouse and dookie all over them, as you just saw right there, but doesn't change that they're not diverse.
Now, I believe I was just acquainting Odin with my mystic
No,
well
stop.
of knowledge.
Shut up, Mimir. We
Or
are
rather, I
not.
should say, a well of water laced with enough mystic mushrooms to make a god see visions. You know what? I'll tell this one later.
I'm gonna have to just stop the boat and let him finish his damn story, because he ain't gonna stop otherwise, and can't use this stuff. Alright, Mimir, start talking again. Here's your chance. Get up to this tower.
That dragon, it's Baldur's, isn't it?
Yes.
And you brought it down. To save me?
It was very heroic.
Just telling me to go back into the water to get to it. Hold up. Yeah, I gotta go through here. I think this takes me up to the dragon, though. And so yeah, you know, in terms of the content, I mean, you got the dragons out to the side, you got lore stuff all around the world that you can hunt down. Like, I'd say there's definitely a fair amount of content and things to do as well, which is nice. I mean, I know not every game needs to be, you know, open world exploration time, but personally, I'm a big fan of titles like that in general, and I'd say this is probably one of the better executions of it. You know, thinking about that in particular, you obviously have, you have stuff like Assassin's Creed Origins, you got Horizon Zero Dawn, just to name some more of the
Now where do we go from
more
here?
recent examples that implement that style of play. But I mean, the core gameplay of this, like in terms of, like, you know, your attacking, your movement, everything is solid enough that putting it into an open world environment, it feels really good. Which I think is saying something, because usually, you know, you have to kind of pull back a little bit to execute an open world right. Like, you know, like you got
Now, I believe
a
I
lot
was
of
just
open world
acquainting
games
Odin
that
with my
have decent
mystic
combat,
well of knowledge.
but not usually this in depth.
Rightly impressed. Can't say for sure what he saw that led him to try gouging out his own eyes, but I managed to restrain him before he finished the job. And we'll pick this up later.
So, you know, like Assassin's Creed, you got your weapon movesets, you got your parries, you got your, you know, your charge up and your attack bar. And then in Horizon, we got a bunch of different weapons and your different ammo types. But here, it's like we have our two main weapons, but then we have an absolute fuck ton of attacks with them. Like, tons and tons of different potential attacks, and the runic attacks, and just a really nice, I guess, spread in terms of your approach. Because I think about, like, Horizon, at the end of the day, in HCD, you know, you could do whatever the fuck you
Arcane
want.
runes. They must have been cluing us to look for Valkyries imprisoned in Muspelheim and Niflheim.
Yeah, well, we already found those back. So I'm gonna see if I can teleport to the next tower. And I can go to Niflheim Realm Tower, but not Muspelheim's, not Asgard. So we'll just run down. But you know, like at the end of the day in Assassin's Creed, you could pick whatever fucking weapon you wanted. And you could basically just, you know, spam basic attacks, and you could eventually get through it. Yeah, you'd be better using a variety of weapons and using specials and parrying and whatnot, but you didn't have to do that. Same with Horizon. You could use whatever the hell you wanted. If you wanted to only use the bow the whole game, you could. But if you wanted a more varied approach, you know, you had trip casters, you had rope casters, you had all that stuff. But here, it feels like, you know, you really got to learn to alternate between your weapons. You know, like, I mean, I know it's more than just the gimmick of, you know, there's fire monsters and you use your axe, and then there's ice monsters and you use your fire, but more so that we have your situations where you're going to want to swap to one weapon because it's better at AoE. You might want to swap
So
to
only
the axe
gouge out his
because,
own
you know,
eye.
the axe has the heavy cleave
Because of the
attacks,
mushrooms you
etc.
gave him?
Aye. Then I persuaded him it has been his sacrifice made for an even higher form of sight to be bestowed. Blah, de blah, de blah, de blah. I used to think he never caught on. But the day he took my eye, I realized he had never been fooled. You know what? I'll tell this one later.
In terms of the world, I mean, plenty to do in the world. You know, this place was incredibly lore and content rich. I really liked how we had a big focus on Norse mythology, which personally is mythology that I've always really enjoyed. That was neat for me.
So Odin gouged out his own eye. Because of mushrooms you gave him?
Aye. He knew I'd outwitted him, called the lesson wisdom, and hired me to make sure from then on I was on his side. And for a long, long time I truly was. Doesn't mean he didn't hold a grudge.
Way to get up there. It's gotta be over here. Music was pretty good. I feel like a lot of the time the game was very much just like ambient sounds. Like I would have liked to hear music more frequently. Like right now, you can hear like a very soft tone of music in the background. But like, this is the perfect time to just have some fucking adventuring music playing while we're, you know, burping around in the boat. So
There was another shipwreck under the water.
I think that could have been improved on. Just in terms of, you know, while you're going around, just have some shit playing, you know. More than just listening to the boat and just rowing and rowing and rowing, because you want to hear you just row over and over. So let's try going to this one. I feel like all of these are broken though. Oh, this one will still work. Awesome. Difficulty. In terms of difficulty, I guess it was okay. Watching people play on lower difficulties looks like a fucking cakewalk. I'd imagine I could go to give me God of War now that like I have some upgrades and shit, and probably get through that with a relative bit of difficulty, but mostly ease compared to, you know, the very first time when we first started playing the game, and it was like, holy shit, how does anybody do anything in this? Why is everything so goddamn strong? So I like the difficulty, but I feel it definitely took a while for it to you know, it took a while to get your upgrades to where the difficulty felt good. Like even right now, you know, if I'm not just going cheesy with my if I don't like go super hard and cheese the shit out of them with runic attacks, these dudes will probably hold their own and do some work against me. I mean, same with the Valkyries. You think about the Valkyries, I'd say for the most part, my approach to Valkyries is let's get cheesy and blow them up with runic attacks. So, you know, I don't know. It's hard to say that, like, you know, it would have been better or worse or how they could change it. Hang on. This way. Let's see. Things I didn't like. I don't like how abruptly the story ended. I mean, I don't know if they were just, you know, saving it open for DLC, but I mean, there's plenty of realms we haven't visited. That final boss fight with Baldur didn't really feel like a final boss fight. You know, it was a cool boss fight. It was very cinematic. But I don't think I would consider that to be like final boss fight worthy, especially because we fought him multiple times already. On top of that, you know, we kind of go up, we find out the mother knew all this stuff. We get the obvious foreshadowing of
I still don't get why you ever wanted to work for Odin.
Kratos dying in Atreus'
Back
arms.
then, I was young enough to still be ambitious. The Aesir gods were as powerful a force as I'd come across, but they clearly lacked for strategy, focus, and sage counsel. All this could I faithfully provide. And so, a stranger from a far-off island found himself with Odin's ear, trusted as he trusted no one but himself. And we'll pick this up later.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they have made any announcements about DLC yet. If it's planned, what the case is, but I will say the ending leaves me wanting DLC, because I feel like
Where was I then?
I've
You
been
become Odin's
kind of
hunter.
robbed of the end of this story. You know? How the fuck do I get up onto the rest of these damn towers?
Trusted advisor.
This is
Aye.
Witch's Cave.
And with that kind of power, laddie, I must confess, there are perks.
Oh,
Yeah, but he's Odin.
I never claim to be perfect, laddie, only clever. And often too clever by half.
So what'd you do to get Odin so mad at you?
Well, for a long time my job was to enable Odin, and I was fucking excellent at it. Gradually, as I grew more to care about people and the world, my job became to contain him, to protect him from himself. By serving peace, I served his interests as well, that's the truth. But he saw it as disloyalty. No longer trusting my motives, but not wishing to part with my brain or tongue, he bound me to a tree and adopted a new pastime of casual torture.
Well, I'm glad we came along to cut off your head.
Aye, lad. Lucky break that was.
six. Gotta light you. You're lit. Oh. Asgard and Muspelheim are not lit. But I can't. I mean, Muspelheim I could light by turning the drawbridge
What's
to
that
it.
down there?
Down this way? Figure out these damn towers. I don't know why I'm so interested in these towers. I just really... Top news ravine. It's ravine. This goes to storehouse. I don't need to do that. And I can't turn the tower. Like, I could turn the tower to Muspelheim and go into Muspelheim and maybe light the braziers from inside Muspelheim. This one is a realm that I can't do that with. Unless this is one of those things where, like, I missed it and I simply can't do it now. Which would suck. Let me see, maybe I can, like, bring the... Because it looks like there's an elevator up above. I don't know. I'm feeling like maybe this has something to do. I mean, I doubt it, but maybe doing all these will make the Valkyrie Queen wait and fight me like the other ones instead of showing up with a face stomp technique. Because it said these are related to Valks. I don't know. Valks, I just can't access. Unless I go up there somehow. I remember climbing up these things earlier. Oh yeah, hang on a second. I gotta find the dock here. I think I can use this to get up there. And since this is like the credits episode, we can go a little bit longer. So more shit about the game. I mean, honestly, I don't feel like it's ended. I mean, obviously, you know, at this point we've transitioned into, you know, free roam and feel the Valkyries and blah 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 and go kill ogres and shit. And that's cool and all, but I want a definitive end to a story. Even if it's very much like a, you know, the story's not done and it's going to continue. This didn't feel like that. This felt much more like, hey, you guys did a good job. And that's it. There's no continuation. There's no, you know, you're gonna find out what happens. There's no, you know, good job on beating that the god. We're gonna live and train Atreus until the gods attack once again in the future. It's just, we got Mother's Ashes. Hooray. We're now done. I don't know, I want closure, and I don't feel I've gotten any fucking closure right now.
There. See it?
So, I mean, overall, I'd still say it's a fantastic game. That much should be obvious. If I had to give it a score, I'd say like 9.5 out of 10. I'm not gonna give it a perfect score because of stuff like that, though. Like the story, I want a definitive end to the story, and there's all these realms that are named that you cannot visit. And probably, so either you know, it's obvious DLC bait, just shit that they're saving, or they're just not going to be covered, in which case, like, what the fuck? Why would you not let us cover these? Are you saving it for the next game, maybe? If you're saving it for the next game, fucking tell us that. Don't just leave us with this weird half-ass ended story.
It is over.
Another name. Gunnar.
It is Muspelheim. Probably take this down now. There'll be a boat waiting for me. Will be. Excellent. So yeah, 9.5 out of 10. Not a bad experience at all. Anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap this one up though. We're over 40 minutes. I don't want it to go much longer, but I'm gonna swap the stone to Muspelheim, see if I can use that to light the brazier. And rest assured, we are taking down the fucking Gout Queen. So whether I need to do a live stream of going through Niflheim and getting all the gear I need, or you know what the case is, we will figure that out.
You
So
never told me what happened with the stone-mason.
either way,
Stay
tuned.
son of Thamur.
and we'll catch you guys
After completing
next
his
time.
father's masterwork, the great